Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 112. Today's date is September 12th, 2021, and I am Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I am Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
A lot of base work. And I mean a lot of base work. So some people know, I think basically patrons knew because I talked about it in the post show. I'm realizing just like how echoey my room is today. This is weird. But I got a new job. So in between my old job and my new job, I've taken the week off because my new job basically said, hey, you're not going to earn any PTO time this year. Like because you're joining so late in the year, it's not going to kick in till January. So if you're going to take time, now's the time to do it between jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those that basically saves all his PTO time for Christmas because I'd rather have Christmas off. And so I haven't taken any PTO time this year, hence why I'm taking a week off in between jobs now. So all I've done is basically work on an episode, which by the time this has come out, the episode should have come out on Monday. Basically, whenever me and Jimbo finish recording, I have like 10 minutes worth of work to do and then just rendering the video and uploading it.
Mm-hmm.
Video should be out. The back of the mountain is where the dock area was supposed to be. And I basically ditched that whole idea and built something different.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's another plateau. So it's not too different, but it came out really well. I'm actually surprised at how good it looks.
Yeah. I haven't got to see it yet.
Yeah. I brought in a couple tint designs from last season's base, which is fun. I always like bringing something in from the previous season. So there's that. And I mean, hours in this episode, I probably have 20 hours working in this episode.
Oh, wow.
So it's a lot, but it's been fun. It's been nice to be like, oh, I'm going to work for 2 hours and then go take a nap and then get up and have some lunch and then come back and get back to work.
This was with your week off.
With my week off.
Taking advantage of it, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm doing stuff around the house, like tending the yard, cleaning the dog, stuff like that.
Got to.
Yeah. But we did have a Ripple Effect live stream day in between.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Carl knocked out the Wither farm tunnel, Wither skeleton farm.
I saw that.
We got a good bit of that done. It's probably 70% done now.
I think that was my job originally.
It was.
Yeah.
We got tired of waiting on Jimbo.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's more Carl got tired of waiting because he understands the end of the season's upon us and he wants things done. So
Yeah. Oh, I got a lot to do. That's for sure.
Yeah. But on top of that, I've been playing a ton of dungeons. I think I have 1 or 2 levels left in the regular game, and then I'll have beaten it.
Oh, okay.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I still have to go back because I'm finding I miss stuff. Like there's a couple like hidden or side dungeons you have to unlock in certain levels that I haven't unlocked. So I'm like, how could I have missed this? Because it takes me like 20-30 minutes to get through a level because I'm like going every which way, trying to find every secret. I'm having a lot of fun with dungeons.
Yeah, it's a cool thing they put in the game, different Easter eggs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Remember you telling me about how you take so long to go through a level because you search every little nook and cranny for these Easter eggs.
They're all procedurally generated levels.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not the same every time.
Yeah.
Sorry, my cough's coming back, so.
I thought so.
Yeah, I ended up like pulling a Jimbo and my drink went down the wrong hole in my throat.
Mm.
And ever since that's like 2 or 3 days ago, I've just been coughing nonstop.
From that one drink.
Yeah. So I've got my allergy medicine. I just need to start taking again. It'll take about 2 or 3 weeks to kick in, but.
Seasons are changing too.
Seasons are changing.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
I'm really enjoying it, actually. This cool weather. It's not too cool.
It was like 100 degrees here today, so.
Yeah, well, it was in the 80s today, but we hit the 70s last week, and that was enough.
Oh, yeah.
Felt refueled, recharged in that kind of weather.
Mm-hmm. But what have you been up to this week? Have you played Minecraft yet?
I didn't play Minecraft, but I did record Minecraft. Funny how that works, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the wonders of replay mod, I was able to go in with my spectator account and record some things around the base. I want to make an opening scene to my newest video, the one that will be coming out. I'm going to take my time on this. I want to make sure it's like a cinematic type of production. I really want to nail this one. So I'm going to take my time, and I have little bits of recordings for the opening scene, and I think it's going to really capture the audience. So that's what I'm going to go with for now. Again, I would like you to be kind of at the beginning, with the idea that I came up with. But I do want to get that recorded first and get it on my my editing software. Make sure that all looks good. Besides that, I was able to buy dungeons, finally. And not through my launcher. Couldn't get it through my launcher for some reason. I couldn't pay for it. It wouldn't take my money, apparently. But I was able to buy it for Windows 10, which is what I have, but it's not through the launcher. It's just like, I think it's as if like you were playing Minecraft Windows 10, the Bedrock edition.
Yeah.
This is kind of like the Dungeons edition for that kind.
Okay.
That's what I come up with. But I have played it. I've probably played 4 levels already.
Cool.
I didn't realize how long it would take to get through these levels. It's taken a little while.
Yeah.
My character doesn't have as much stuff. I think my character is on level 5, maybe, not all that strong. I'm still trying to get the buttons. One thing I'm having trouble with is when I didn't know if there was a move or if there was a button I could press. I thought there was, where you hit all the enemies that surround you. Now, I go through and I'm clicking on enemies. On the PC, you got to use the mouse.
Yeah.
It can be annoying. You remember that. And, I'm clicking on my enemies and I'm getting them one by one. But I thought there was a button I could press to, take out the enemies around you. But maybe that's a special ability. Not too sure.
Yeah, that's a special ability. It's the book ability. It's like my favorite ability you can get in the game. And it's like a blue book. And it's like an explosion right next to you. Like you have to gather up souls or kill things to charge it up.
Okay.
And then you can let off an explosion once it's charged up. It's like my favorite enchantment, but it's so low powered, you can't really use it towards the end of the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought every weapon you could have like a, multiple attack hitting the enemies around you. But I guess not. I was looking for that button. I'm like, what button is this where I can hit all these?
There's different enchantments. Like I know with a bow, you can have an enchantment that's like on your 5th draw, it's an explosive arrow or something like that.
Yeah.
So there might be one for a melee weapon that does that, but I haven't run across it yet.
Okay. Yeah, I've died a few times just because of that. I'm like, I can't take on all these enemies. Then you realize you don't go storming in there like a crazy person. You gotta take your time and pick these enemies apart.
I can tell you, don't worry about running out of arrows. Early on, that was a huge worry for me. And then like this last level, I beat it with 960 arrows still in the quiver.
Oh, wow.
So not that big of a deal.
I ran out once. Did run out once. But I kept dying. I die and then I come back and I'm trying to beat the boss and I just couldn't do it and end up running out of arrows. But then again, I was able to gather some up while fighting. Now I have arrows again. But yeah, I did run out at one point. I'm like, oh crap, how am I gonna win now? And I died.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm starting to get used to it. It's a good time. It's always a good time. I like to get a little further along. But yeah, that's about it for my week.
We do have news.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, finally. This is, I think they said, the final snapshot that's experimental. They'll be going into our regularly scheduled snapshots here soon.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Now, let's do the boring cave stuff first.
What, the generation again?
Yeah. Yeah. Noodle caves are generating above, was it Y60 something, but below Y130. So a mountain might have a noodle cave in it this time.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be able to find them up at the peaks. They also smooth the terrain out a little bit, slightly. slightly smoother, less noisy.
The same thing that's been in the notes for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like they've been really touching up on like biome transitions to other biomes.
Yes.
Now they're trying to smooth out all the hilly areas. It did feel pretty hilly before.
It did. I'll give you that.
I haven't got much footage of the new snapshot, but yeah, I agree with trying to smooth it out a little bit, maybe less hilly.
Yeah. And the reason you don't have much footage of that, because the other part of the snapshot was way more interesting.
Right.
And that was Elytra changes.
Pretty big.
Now, before we start going over this, I want to say that they mentioned on a tweet, I can't remember where, I think it was a King B Dog's tweet, that this is one to try to help with lag, because we've all been to the point where we're flying through unloaded chunks before.
Mm-hmm.
So these changes were supposed to help with that. 2, help decrease the indiscrepancy between modes of travel. I don't think it did that, but that was the other big thing. So Elytras don't take durability when gliding anymore. They only take durability when you're using a rocket boost, which is cool. And I think it's a standard 3 durability, no matter what kind of rocket you're using on an unenchanted Elytra. I think if you have unbreaking, it reduces the chance of 3 durability be taken off. Like it could be none, it could be 1, it could be 2.
Yeah, small chance of it being 2.
Right.
But it's definitely going to last longer.
Yes.
The gliding, I mean, how often do you hit your rockets unless you're trying to pick up speed? Now there's a limit to your speed, so
yeah,
I won't be using them as often. I'll try to glide a little more, save on Elytra, but that could have an effect on the enchantments you put on your Elytra, like mending, for instance. I mean, I'm going to put mending on my Elytra, but it's going to last a long time without it.
Honestly, I don't think this changes a lot with the Elytra and its using. It's still going to be the number 1 mode of transport.
Yeah.
People are still going to throw Unbreaking 3 and Mending on top of it. It's just not as big of a deal now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the other big thing is rockets aren't as effective as they were. I think somebody did the math and it's 20% less effective.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So, like, gliding speed has not changed, but rocket boost speed is slower in speed and distance. And overall, it's like a 20% reduction. But that means if you were using level 1 rockets, just use level 2 rockets. If you were using level 2 rockets, you can just use level 3 rockets. So
I thought it was just duration with the rockets. It just lasts longer. I could be wrong.
No, the rockets don't last longer. They're actually shorter.
Yeah, well, I thought
in their time.
From the rockets 1, 2, and 3, it wasn't faster. It was they last longer. The duration on them between 1 and 3.
Yes,
that's what I thought.
But on top of the duration being less, the speed in which you travel with rocket boost is slower, so you don't go into unloaded chunks.
Yeah. Yep. Understand. And one thing I wanted to bring up was the gliding thing. Now, it would probably be dependent on your position, because if you're up high and you're gliding straight down, you're going to be moving pretty fast. I don't think there's really a limit. There's probably a limit, but it's pretty high on your speed. So I'm thinking, could you gain speed from just gliding downwards? That was never really brought up, but that's a question that I have.
Well, everything in Minecraft has a quote-unquote terminal velocity. You'll go as fast as you can to a single point, and you'll never be able to go faster.
Yeah.
That's in the game now.
I mean, falling would probably be the fastest way to go downwards instead of gliding downwards.
Well, if you have your Elytra deployed and you point straight down, it's the exact same thing as falling without it.
Okay. Yeah, I figured it was similar, but...
Or if you point straight up, actually, because the Elytra will fold itself in and you'll fall anyways.
Yeah, you're pretty much falling at that point if you're facing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious on the gliding. Like, I thought there was a certain speed of gliding, but, it depends on your angle. Depends on your speed.
Well, they didn't change gliding speed at all.
Just the rockets.
Just the rockets.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I know there are some people already griping, going, "Oh, this stinks," blah, blah. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
No, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I like, the chance to get the chunks loaded.
Yes.
And running into that invisible wall, or you're running into unloaded chunks. That's annoying.
That sucks so bad.
Yeah, I'd like this change.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it at all. What, you're losing a little bit of speed? Have some patience.
Yeah, it is still going to be the best mode of transportation. Let's face it.
Right. Yeah, you'd have to touch up on all the other transportations to really equal these things out.
Mm-hmm.
Elytra's still going to be top dog even after these changes.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No. That's about it. Yeah, I was just curious about the gliding. I thought there was like a set speed for the gliding, but it's just for the rockets.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's move into listener comments.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have 3 listener comments we're going to bring in.
Yeah.
We'll start with IAmKaraDanvers. They ask, what do you think about the possibility of a structure update for 119? It is something I don't think is talked about enough and would bring the overworld to an updated state much like the caves without being as technically challenging as last 2 updates. It also matches up with the potential release of archaeology and would come with a catchy name of Ruins and Remnants. I 100% agree. I think a structure update for 119 would be really nice. I don't know if they would do it though.
I love the name.
I do too.
Ruins and Remnants. What a great name. I do like that. But I disagree with the structures in general, just updating them. I feel like the structures and everything around them would need touched up on. For instance, we got the caves and cliffs. Let's hit all the ruins and remnants inside the caves and cliffs. They hit the mine shafts. They actually did touch those up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not completely different. They kind of look the same, which a little bit of tweaks. The dungeons I'm a little disappointed in. Be nice for them to touch up on the dungeons. Yeah, just anything that goes with the update. I feel like the structure should be touched up on, but just all structures in general, I don't know. I don't think.
Well, remember, they did an entire village update.
Mm-hmm.
In Village and Pillage, every village building got a tweak and touch.
Yeah.
So it's not like they wouldn't do something like that. They've done it before. And I think it is time for those to get an update. Yeah, I mean, jungle temples are so old now.
Yeah, there are some very old structures that hasn't been looked at in a long time. I do agree.
I think things like Guardian Temple wouldn't get touched. Nether Fortress probably wouldn't get touched.
Bastions
obviously wouldn't get touched because they just got finished.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot more structures than you think, now that you think about it.
But yeah, definitely dungeons needs tweaking, temples, stuff like that. What was it? What's the desert temple got touched up a little bit with basically the terrain around it being moved.
That's about it. Yeah. I could see them when they update the biomes, like the desert they were going to update. I think they were going to add there's a bird.
I think it was a vulture.
Yeah, the vulture. That's right. I think they were going to add that to the desert. Maybe when they add all that stuff, I think that would be a good opportunity to touch up on those structures.
Yeah. No, that's it. I'll let you read the second question.
Next question we got is from IronHart. They ask if you could pick one block, biome, or mob that you have already discussed on Block of the Week, Mob of the Week, or Biome of the Week to fix again, what would it be?
I had fun thinking about this one last night.
Yeah, we've had a lot.
To me, the easiest ones to revisit are biomes because they can be varied in so many different ways. Like, I would really want to do the Badlands again and create things like Devil's Tower, which is a natural structure in America. It's over in the Southwest. So I would like something like that, maybe to show up in the Badlands or maybe Savannah. But I don't think we've done the Savannah yet in Mending Minecraft, so...
Yeah, I think we've done like Savannah Plateau, or was an option or something like that.
But the Badlands are one of the coolest looking biomes in the game. that I think get so little love. They're basically just a mining resource town. You go in, you mine your stuff, you get out.
That's even what the lore tells you. It's just mining, that's all you find there.
Yeah, so I would love to be able to give people a reason to go and hang out in the Badlands.
At the Devil's Tower.
At Devil's Tower.
There was a block I was thinking about. It was a long time ago that I felt like I missed my opportunity on, and that was the cake.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if I brought this up before, but I completely disagree with the cake being able to use redstone.
Okay.
How do you power anything from this cake? It just didn't make any sense. I wasn't able to bring it up during that, but the cake should not be used for redstone. I know, what else are you going to use it for? Can't really eat it. It's not really worth eating. Decoration, maybe. But yeah, I don't see why it would ever conduct redstone. Had to get that off my chest.
Well, I'm going to start with 1. How dare you?
I did it.
Cake is awesome.
Just did it.
And 2, I think it's the comparator that makes the redstone signal.
Yeah.
Not the cake. And what do you think the little red squares are on the cake?
Cherries.
Because the cake's been around before berries.
Yeah, but
so
no one's going to eat redstone.
It's definitely redstone dust.
It's not. That wouldn't be healthy to eat.
Hey, you don't know what magic redstone has in it. We make our potions out of redstone, don't we?
Like strawberries. That'd be yummy.
There's no strawberries in the game, though.
Or some kind of berry.
We have sweet berry bushes, but the cake has been around before sweet berry bushes, which means the red squares had to be something else.
Can't be redstone. You don't want to eat that. That's not good. That wouldn't be good for you.
But you drink redstone in potions. Nah?
Yeah, kind of.
Ta-da!
Okay, listen. This is cake we're talking about. This isn't some well, it is a redstone thing, I guess, but
yeah.
I don't think it should be.
You're just upset that you can't pick your cake up and eat it too.
A little bit, a little bit.
That is one thing I'm not happy with either. I would love for cake to be able to be picked up.
Yeah, cake's got some flaws.
Yeah.
I just felt like that might be something I might be on my own with, is the non-redstone capabilities. But you got a point. There is red in it and could be connected to redstone that way, but that's about it. That's all you got? Besides that, I don't believe it.
It's all I got, and it's a shot in the dark, but I'm willing to take it.
Mm-hmm. Good argument.
Lawyered. All right. The final question was an important one to me because we're seeing this thrown out a lot lately. This one's from CalamariKing, and they ask, in regards to the upcoming mob vote at Minecon, what are your thoughts on large content creators with specific playstyles influencing the votes of their fans, essentially creating a more biased vote towards those playstyles? I personally think the reason the Glow Squid won, or was voted in last year, was because large content creators, 1 million plus subscribers / followers, told their fans to vote for it. Obviously, I think it's okay for people to give their opinions, but last year I felt individuals use their power to influence the mob vote. I'm going to say that the Glow Squid would have won anyways because of the Night Flap Flap. The Phantom ruined the Chillagers' chance of winning because it's a hostile mob, and the last time we voted in a hostile mob, it became so annoying people didn't want to deal with it anymore, and I don't think people wanted to risk having to deal with an annoying mob again.
Could be. It could be an annoying mob. I was going to vote for the Chillager. I do, on the other hand, think influencers have a big influence on these votes.
Yes.
You see it all the time in tweets, in videos. Vote this. Let's vote this. Let's get this in the game. I think it would make more sense for these influencers to just state their opinion on why. This is why I like it. This is what I'm voting for. Vote for what you want. It does, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of influencers, telling people what to vote.
No. If anybody is listening to an influencer about anything, anything. I don't care if it's about what kind of shoes are popular nowadays. It's dumb. You decide what's cool and what's not cool to you. You decide what's fun to play with and not fun to play with,
Right.
by the way. So CalamariKing's right in the fact that people shouldn't be listening to influencers. My argument is, though, that last year's vote didn't matter that because the Iceologer or the Chillager wasn't going to win anyways. I think even our Discord vote, which was meant to simulate the mob vote before the mob vote happened, had the Glow Squid winning anyways.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Glow Squid.
Glow Squid came out great. I love the Glow Squid.
Yeah.
But I think the Phantom, or as I call it, the Night Flap Flap, ruined any chance of a hostile mob winning that vote.
Very well could. Yeah, again, go with your gut, guys. Don't take the influencers just because they tell you to vote something and you don't want to vote that, then don't vote it.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
I keep telling you guys controllers on Minecraft is cool and no one listens to me. Everyone calls me weird. So.
Yeah, there's nothing cooler than you being yourself.
Yes.
Than trying to be someone else. Be yourself. There's nothing cooler than that.
Or trying to please somebody else for internet points.
Take it from me, I'm like half cool. Not all the way yet.
Not even fully cool.
No.
Well, if you're half cool, does that make you chilled?
I'm chill. Yeah, I'm chill.
Yeah. All right. I am excited to see what happens in the mob vote this year. I think we're going to do another pre-mob vote. So we can see what the Discord's going to decide. It all depends on when they release what mobs are we voting for.
Right.
And then Carl's going to throw that together. So
sounds fun.
But that's kind of it for listener comments. Thank you guys so much for those. Those comments were from our Discord. And it's the only place you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take Link's word for it.
Hello there, miners and crafters. This is Link. Come and join me on the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to hang out with the people that work on the show and other fellow listeners like yourselves. The link is in the show notes. Join today and let's discuss the game we love.
All right, thank you for the Discord ad link.
Each week on the show, we mention the top 3 members who have been earning XP and leveling up by participating in chat, excluding ourselves and our moderators. This week, top 3 Discord members are number 3, StoneFigure. Second is Pinaki222. Is that right? Did I pronounce that right?
I don't know. I was getting ready to tell everyone if we say your name's wrong, let us know in the Discord so we can fix it.
Yeah, please. And Ski3012. That could be Sky. Yeah, Sky3012. But I think it's Ski.
I think it's Ski. Sky is kind of using a Y there.
Yeah. Anyways, join in with the chat on Discord, and you could be mentioned next week. Thanks, guys.
And speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in our Mending Minecraft vote. This week, we asked you to choose between one of 3 items for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were fishing rod, carrot on a stick, bundle.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... Carrot on a stick.
Come on, guys.
Who would have guessed, right?
Why no bundle?
Yeah, I could have sworn it'd be bundles, but glad I didn't bet on this one.
Yeah.
Carrot on a stick had 40 votes. Fishing rod with 9, bundles with 18. So it was in second, but it really wasn't close to carrot on a stick.
Yeah. And the sad thing is, I'm kind of combining the fishing rod here with carrot on a stick because there's not a lot to do to improve this one.
Yeah.
That kind of seems to be a thing happening with the Mending Minecraft vote lately.
Yeah, it's been pretty difficult lately.
Right?
Carrot on a stick is an item that can be used to control saddle pigs. All you need to craft this item is a fishing rod and a carrot. No crafting table required. To use a carrot on a stick, the player must first saddle a pig and ride it while holding the carrot on a stick. The pig then moves in the direction of the carrot. Also, if the player holds a carrot on a stick, all nearby pigs follow the player. You can make your pig run faster by boosting with the right mouse click button. On controller, I think it's a left click button. I don't know. I don't play it on the controller. Sorry, maybe you could help there, Duds. I don't know what button that is.
It's left click.
It's a left click. Yeah, I was right. And Carrot on a Stick can receive Unbreaking, Mending, and Cursive Vanishing enchantments. That's it.
Okay. So, sat here last night doing the show notes, trying to come up with a way to fix the Carrot on a Stick. And as it is, there is no way to fix a carrot. It is what it is. It's a carrot on a stick. But with the recent tweaks to horses and stuff following golden apples and carrots stuff across the rivers, what if you put a golden carrot on a stick and then llamas would follow that? Because as of right now, there's no real way to ride a llama. You can get on its back and someone could lead it and pull it, and you can ride it like that, but on your own, there's no real way to do it. So what if a golden carrot on a stick would be a way to ride llamas?
Yeah, it's something.
It kind of goes against the creating new things from ending Minecraft. But come on, guys. It's a carrot on a stick.
It's still carrot on a stick, even if it's golden.
Right. The problem was llamas eat hay bales, but a hay bale on a stick didn't seem right. That's a big block to be putting on the end of a stick.
Right.
That was my big thing. I was thinking of animals we can't ride right now, and llama was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah. Turtles.
I wouldn't ride the turtles. Wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't suggest it. Dolphins, but you need a fish. That'd be...
Well, you need to figure out how to saddle a dolphin. That's...
That's the first step.
Speaking of fish, this goes in with the fishing rod. I know we have lure and something of the sea, luck of the sea or something like that no one uses anymore because fishing farms are dead. But what if you could attach a certain bait to the end of the fishing rod to get a certain type of fish?
Yeah.
We do that in real life, and salmon is actually a good food type in the game, but it's a pain in the butt to get now that we don't have fish farms.
Yeah, you kind of got to track them down in rivers.
Yeah.
Swamps.
Might be a little different if Guardians were to drop salmon, but it's just all cod. So, yeah, I'd love to be able to bait my fishing rod and go actual fishing. I think that could be cool in the game.
Wait, Guardians don't drop salmon?
No, I'm pretty sure they just drop cod.
It's been so long since I had my Guardian farms.
I could be wrong, and someone might be like, hey, that's incorrect, but I'm pretty sure it's just cod.
I think I remember grabbing salmon out of there. I don't know. Can't really remember. Usually I'd, separate those in a sorting, but can't remember doing it.
Let's see. You think of something to do with a fish on a stick.
Fish. You can fish with a fish on a stick. I was thinking maybe carrot on a stick could help your fishing rates, but, we do have enchantments for that.
Right, we have lure. So I wouldn't want to replace that, but I would make it so it's easier to get a certain fish you're looking for. And let's not forget, there's 300 kinds of tropical fish.
Right.
So if you're trying to catch all those, it'd be nice to be able to figure out a way to determine, the blue one's something red on the end of it, so you put sweet berries on the end of your rod. Yep, raw cod.
But in this case, I think that would be fixing the fishing rod instead of carrot on a stick. But you could add whatever. Carrot on a stick kind of is what it is, like you said.
Nope, 25% chance of raw salmon from a Guardian.
Yeah, I thought there was salmon in there. Not much, but...
Yeah. I haven't built a Guardian farm since the ocean update.
You're due next season.
I'm due. I might be building one next season, so...
Oh, okay.
I love sea lanterns too much.
And you love grinding.
No, I don't.
It's a grind.
I know it is, and that's what worries me. It might have to be a community project or something. I won't even sell the stuff.
It's fun while you got it, but yeah, the work definitely wears you down. Trust me, I know.
All right, but that's kind of it for mending Minecraft, unless you have anything else. Like I said, carrot on a stick, guys, instead of bundles. Bundles need so much work.
They probably heard so much about bundles. They're like, okay, we already know everything about the bundle.
Yeah, the overall consensus, whereas people saying, well, bundles aren't in the game yet. It's but they are. You have to be in creative mode to get them. But they are in the game, and you can test them out and use them.
True.
We have them on Ripple Effect using a data pack. They are not fun. They need a lot of work.
Right.
But our main topic for the show this week came from Carl and his random thought process.
Way to go, Carl.
Way to go. So it was, let's name some items that we've just stopped using over time that basically have become irrelevant to how we play the game anymore.
I like it.
And this started because Carl had to craft a trap chest. And he's like, this is the first time I've done this all season.
Mm.
And it's true. I can't remember the last time I crafted a trap chest.
Yeah, and it used to be essential. You needed those.
Right.
To make a storage, at least an efficient storage, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If they're back next to each other. You could not put a chest next to a chest back then, so you had to use a trap chest. It's a weird thing they did, but if that was the thing, couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah. I remember first playing Java and seeing these people stack chests next to each other and just going, why won't this work?
Mm-hmm. I did that.
Realizing it's a trap chest.
Yep. And that's just what you did. That's how you did it. That's the only reason you use a trap chest. You wouldn't use it anywhere else. But yeah, you needed trap chest. You needed your little, what is that? Your hook, tripwire hooks.
Tripwire hooks.
To make your storage system.
But you had a lot of tripwire hooks because you got them from fishing.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Never ran out. They're fairly cheap anyway, but
yeah,
fishing, they would come real easy. I think that went away when fishing went away. No, a little bit before, I want to say.
Yeah, a little bit before.
Fishing went after.
Yeah. What about you? What's your first one that you stopped using?
Back in the day, I remember my food source, my main food source was pumpkin pie. Always ate pumpkin pie.
That is a fun recipe.
I never even used a recipe. I just had a ton of villagers. And I would trade my emeralds for pumpkin pie. That's what I ate. And it was great food source, except the saturation wasn't there.
Yeah.
I never really looked at the saturation back in the day. Never really thought it was a thing. But when I played Xbox and I had my villagers, that's what I ate because it did 4 hearts or 4 food.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was like, this is just as good as steak. So I'm just going to buy this. I don't have to kill anything for it. I don't need any kind of farm. I just got these villagers I can get my pumpkin pie from.
Now you can get golden carrots from them.
Yeah. Yeah, now you can get better food from them, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Can you get cooked food from villagers? I think you can.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure either.
I have farmers, but I don't think I've ever traded with the farmers this season.
Yeah.
Basically, my entire farming room's just to make bone meal.
Yeah, very seldom do you trade and unlock a butcher.
This is true.
Don't have the graphic up to see what they trade, so it might be a thing. I know pumpkin pie was a thing.
Pumpkin pie was a big villager trade for a long time. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to watch my figure anyway, so I'm done with pumpkin pie.
Worry about the Minecraft diabetes.
It is fall season coming up.
It is fall season.
We're going to get a lot of pumpkin pie around, a lot of pumpkin spice.
I have a pumpkin pie store in Omni's Mall just to let everyone know.
Oh, maybe I'll sit down and reminisce at the pumpkin pie store.
All the pumpkin pie is free anyways.
Oh, okay.
My number 2 on the list, blast furnace. When the new furnaces came out, blast furnace, everyone, you had to have it. How else are you going to get your ingots and stuff? Blast furnace.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all.
Yeah.
Very disappointed. The only time I can see myself ever using a blast furnace again is if they let you do sand to glass.
Right.
Because sand to glass is made in a blast furnace in real life. So it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That's what I use my smelter for the most, is to make sand in the glass.
Right?
And having, when you have a super smelter, why would you have a blast furnace on the side? The super smelter is going to cook it up a lot faster.
You have 13 furnaces, it doesn't matter anymore because you're still doing really fast smelting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, blast furnaces have kind of gone to the wayside. Smokers are still useful to me. Kind of. The last item on my list kind of will disregard this, but to do meats and foods and stuff, kelp, smoker is useful in those. But that's kind of it.
Yeah. You haven't used those much either. You once you get a super smelter, it's kind of hard to
right
use it any of the others.
Yeah, and my cow farm area, I have the smoker. So the meat automatically gets sorted out and then goes through the smoker to start with. So that's why I say smoker still has some usefulness, but just barely.
My second item, I used it a little bit, but not as much, and now I never use it. And that's redstone lamps.
What?
Yeah, seems like something you use pretty often.
I use redstone lamps all the time.
Yeah, you use them like storage indicators and different ways like that. I just it never crosses my mind, really, to throw a redstone lamp in there to notify me for something, or even lighting. Like, redstone lamp doesn't come across. I think I feel like it's just easier to avoid the redstone and put a glowstone in there, or, throw a sea lantern in there. Yeah, the only reason to use the redstone lamp is to turn it on and off.
Right.
Or to notify you, like I said. I did use it in one of my spawners, 3-4 years ago? But that was I think it was CalamariKing, actually. I used it on my zombie spawner, and that's it. It's the only time. That was the last time I think I used a redstone lamp. Kind of weird, I know.
Basically, they're indicators for me. Every silo system has a bunch of redstone lamps to let me know how full it is. My automatic storage system, I've added a design to them that has redstone lamps flickering, so I know while it's running, because if you leave the area while it's running, it breaks. So I needed some kind of indicator. That's mainly what I use them for. I still think they're good enough to use for decoration.
Yeah.
And lighting sources. Sea lanterns are so good.
Yeah, I think there's a certain style you got to build with to put redstone lamps in as your, like, a decorative block. It'd be nice to have different colors of redstone lamps. That would make it a little more.
It would.
Definitely use them a little more often.
And when you say that, like, I don't need the light to glow that color. It can still be the same color that light is in Minecraft now. Just being able to change the texture color of the lamp alone would be cool.
Yeah, instead of that yellow, let's get a different color. Or variety.
Problem is that adds like 16 new blocks to the game.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Moving on?
Yeah, that's all I got for redstone lamp.
My number 3, ink sac. It's still kind of useful when you're doing a book and quill and stuff, but I don't make those a lot.
Me neither.
And if I need black ink, Wither Rose Farm's pretty easy to make. Way easier than a squid farm.
Yeah, I kind of got lucky, and the area that I dug out was a part of a river, and I had one stream of water produce a bunch of squid, so it was real easy for me to set up.
Your squid farm literally fell in your lap.
Yeah, that's the only reason I would build that, is because that happened. Besides that, like you said, the Wither Rose farm, you could go there and get shulker boxes whenever. Needless to say, my ink sac farm is pretty good. I do have a ton of it, but there are other ways.
But it's constantly running at your base. Whereas the Wither Rose farm, I think I AFK for maybe 4 hours, and I've got 6 to 7 shulker boxes full.
Nice.
So it's crazy effective.
Yeah, if there's other people on the server, especially you, my ink sac farm isn't all that efficient. You live in the ocean, so.
Yeah, my ocean base kind of ruined stuff. But I don't plan on living in the ocean next season, so.
I probably won't have a ink sac farm.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I told Carl showed me his ice farm the other day. Dude, that thing's cool. I told him, like, week 1 or 2, the server's active. It's like, you build it.
Yeah.
It's not big, and it's not tons of materials. It's just a smart build that's super efficient. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, you get to see that.
What about you? What's your number 3?
My number 3 is horse armor. I remember having a horse, having a couple horses, getting them some good armor. Now I don't use horses.
Yeah.
I think I have a chest full of horse armor. I might have 9 diamond horse armors in there and don't have a horse. Don't plan on getting a horse until they improve, like, the travels. Now you see it's becoming a little more popular on SMPs to ride horses around.
Yeah.
But those SMPs are kind of, everyone's kind of near each other. It's more relevant to have a horse in that case. The way we're spread out, there's no reason to have one. So horse armor is something I just kind of collect. Most of the time I throw it away. If I need to spot my inventory, horse armor is going to go.
Yeah, I don't think I've used a horse since the first season of Comicraft.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
And that's literally when 1.9 came out.
Mine might be before that, before I even moved to PC.
Mm-hmm. I know we had horses last season in Ripple Effect in Spawn Town, but like that, I think people were only in Spawn Town for 3 days, and we all moved out.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even have a horse then.
Yeah, you did.
I remember you had one.
You kept parking your horse in my little pen.
Well, it ended up dying, didn't it?
Right, you and Bank were fighting, and you shot and killed your own horse.
Oh, that's right. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, horse.
I didn't have a horse. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
That's right. I remember that battle. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. That was a pretty funny moment from last season.
That was my last horse.
All right, so my last item that I've just kind of stopped using, and this is kind of a walk the line. It's kelp blocks. So I just wrote kelp. Mm-hmm. But I use kelp when trying to do the water sources for redstone to do the elevator and stuff. That it's useful there. Kelp block, I was using that to smelt everything last season. It's not useful anymore. To me, a blaze farm with blaze rods is still a better fuel source than kelp blocks. The amount of work it takes to make kelp blocks, because you have to grow the kelp, then you have to run the kelp through a furnace or a smelter, then you have to craft the kelp blocks, and then you have to put it in the fuel for the smelter. And it's like, no. Blaze rods. Not only do you get XP while farming them, you can AFK it if you have a clicker, and they're super useful in furnaces. Not to mention potion brewing, Eyes of Ender, so Ender chests. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't use kelp blocks anymore. I think I've used them maybe here or there for decoration now, but even then there's better looking blocks now. Deep slate, best slate.
Yeah, last season I used a ton of kelp blocks.
Yeah, you had kelp blocks everywhere.
I had them all over the place, especially my ceilings. I think I used them in my ceilings the most.
Yeah.
They look good there, so I used them everywhere in the ceilings. Thought I used them in a good way, but I used them for fuel. That's if I would run out of other fuel. Like I had enough kelp to produce it, and again, there's a lot of steps to get to the kelp block. You know, the crafting and you got to smelt it down to be able to craft it into one of those blocks. But yeah, and then you throw it back in the furnace for fuel. So it was a long process. It is a lot easier and better to use blaze rods. That's what I've been using. My super smelter nowadays, I'm using sticks that just can't keep up, just can't fill itself. Yeah, and then I go to coal. I never really thought about putting a kelp farm behind it all to fill up these super smelters because it takes a lot of time.
Well, also, if you wanted to do something like that, bamboo would be a better thing to do anyways.
Yeah, bamboo.
Because it just grows so fast.
Mm-hmm. It's quicker. Feeds right into it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. But I do like the kelp block. I do like deep slate better. The last thing I have on mine is I did horse armor. Now, leather armor. Leather armor, I used it a little bit, but honestly, not enough. We're going to end up using it. I guess I could say that with the snow update.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, maybe even then, what are you going to fall in some snow? That's what it's for. You know, if you can handle that, then don't use it, I guess. But yeah, I guess leather armor I never really used all that much. If I were to use it, I'd use it on like armor stands.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to build a character or something. But besides that, yeah, leather armor's pretty useless.
Yeah, I mean, the coolest feature of leather armor was the fact that you could dye it different colors.
Right.
Like, you could get really creative with that.
It's still the coolest feature.
Yeah, it's the only thing of armor you can do that with.
Mm-hmm.
But its defenses are so lacking. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I guess if you want to put on a different outfit, that'd be the only reason. You're not going to go into a battle with leather armor.
No. And I really hope Mojang takes a look at armor and weapons and stuff and gives us a little bit more creativity with textures and swapping different types of materials out and maybe the crafting table to create different textures. I think that'd be so cool. I mean, armor is already not stackable. Let us get crazy with it.
Yeah. Even like the chain link armor.
Right.
Never really appealed to me.
No, but imagine if you could attach chainmail armor to netherite armor. You'd get a really cool looking piece of armor.
Yeah. If it had some kind of feature like that, it'd be worth using.
Right. We have a little topic next, but we're already at the 1 hour mark for us. We know Carl's going to edit this down, so.
To 43 minutes.
41 and a half.
Yeah, that's about right.
Carl, please don't do that to spite us.
He's going to cut out everything I say just to get it to 41 and a half.
But I'm going to try to read this out without coughing all over the place.
All right.
Before I have Jimbo read his script, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Aubni, ChiefBigBear, Crock, FragileRock, ohbeep, StoneFigure, and viperoustuna. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/thewitheringeffect.
And if you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be. The amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome as always. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. Should probably go drink some milk now. Bye.
See you guys.